what do you guys think about all the Trump news? You know, he put these tariffs in on a bunch of countries. It's been really controversial.
Mm.
The stock market tanked, and I definitely bought some stocks when it tanked, for
For
sure.
sure.
For
For
sure.
sure. Yup.
You know what
Yup.
I'm saying? I didn't sell. I was not panic selling.
You ain't
I,
panic?
I ain't panic at all, bro.
You probably cleaned up. You got some good
I,
stuff, didn't you?
I got some good deals.
Let's
I was shopping.
go. He's out shopping. I like to
I
hear
was
that.
shopping.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that, Gam, for sure. Uh, at the end of the day, Trump had an initiative that he wanted to make America and its people wealthy. He wanted to be like a golden age. And in order to do that, you have to have a tariff war because the effect of the tariffs is going to bring back jobs stateside. A lot of the big companies have outsourced their labor to these countries where people are making pennies on the dollar. But now we're seeing Rolls-Royce building factories here to build Rolls-Royces here. Mercedes are going to be building Mercedes-Benzes here. You're seeing factories have to actually employ people in the American populace. It had to happen, man. It had to happen. Because here's the problem. There are several key places in our country where all of the components for very important infrastructure are all made in China. There was something that was discovered that a lot of these very large transformers that are used to power our power grid had a backdoor access via computer hacking that can shut them off remotely. And all of this equipment in this room, more than likely, was probably made in China. How safe is your nation if you see a country saying by the year 2050, China will be the world's #1 superpower? We've seen this country pour more concrete in the continent of Africa than the entire size of the United States of America. We're watching them create staging areas and staging zones to prepare for a conflict with the United States of America. How safe is your nation if one country is responsible for all of your electronics? The only way to get these electronic devices processed and built here is by tariffs. It's the only way. You know, everybody he levied tariffs against, they all folded. They want to renegotiate and come back to the table. Once again, you know, I'm pro human life. I'm pro the people. I'm pro policy. You know, I'm not a fan of any politicians because, you know, they call politics theater. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they call politics theater. You know, I don't even believe that all of these people are typical flesh and blood human beings because how is it that human beings cannot work together on one accord to stop destroying the only place that they have to live? And then AI is going to force people to have to literally reskill. Shout out to Maverick Approach, because if AI is going to make all of these jobs AI based, we're going to watch the middle class get squeezed down and shrunk like we've never seen before. And AI is making the human worker expendable. So the outcome of this is going to be higher poverty, higher drug use, higher homelessness. In order to combat this, you have to have jobs available for people to have. If everybody's getting everything manufactured in China, how are you going to keep your populace employed? Simple facts, bro. Simple facts.
That's real shit.
That's
You know,
one
what do
thing.
you,
That's one thing.
what do you,
Not to cut you off again, but that's one thing I'll be trying to make known. Like we come on here, we can laugh, we ghoul and drink the Kool-Aid and joke, but man, it's a lot of shit that we need to pay attention to. Shit getting real and it's about to get darker.
well, what about the helicopters and the planes? I feel like it's like every week I see 2 or 3 planes and helicopters crashing all over America. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, this is something I was bringing awareness to before it started happening. People hitting me up saying, man, you probably saved lives. Here's the thing. When you see these big companies passing bills to make way for these high-speed rail systems, you got to think about it. If you want people to stop flying and buy your rail system, buy your ticket to your train, make them think and feel that flying is unsafe. Then you got to also think about this. All of these crashes are happening on planes that have autopilot systems that can be compromised due to the components being made in countries that aren't necessarily allies to us. When the Black Hawk helicopter had crashed into the commercial plane, there was no manifest for anybody on that helicopter. The helicopter was hacked, and it was purposely crashed into that passenger plane. Then you got to think about this. Retired FBI agent John D'Souza said, the closer we get to disclosure, we're going to see planes and helicopters falling out the sky. We're watching it take place. What happens if a group of people that we didn't know existed tell us, yeah, the sky's ours. You're going to have to get on the train. If we can't protect the airspace, you're going to have other avenues to travel. The Boring Company that Elon created, digging tunnels, it's not by coincidence. Something is going on to where, air travel ain't as safe as it used to be, because it was documented facts that more people died in car crashes than died in plane crashes. We never seen this many plane crashes in history. We're seeing anomalous drones that no one is taking claim for over military bases, over airports, making airspace unsafe. These are things that need to be talked about, things that need to be investigated. And, y'all gonna see Off the Grid podcast dropping right here on Capone News. We're gonna be going into these topics. To be aware is to be alive. All of these things are multiple components. They're three-pronged. There's never just one problem. There's never just one answer to any of these things. It's multiple answers, multiple causes, and multiple effects always. It's never just going to be one single item that's causing this stuff. But everything I just listed is definitely part of it.
For sure, man. Okay. Well, BH, Dugar, I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, bro. We did it again.
Another dope interview.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Cam.
What up?
Tell motherfuckers stop playing with us before we pull up and drown their ass in Goulet. All over the Gam Capone studios, you hear me?
I hear you, man. I hear you.
You got that. This the Duga I'm used to. So, y'all done pissed them off. So this it is what it is. We got some big things going, man. It's your boy Big Homie.cc, Big Dugar.cc. Shout out to Cam Capone. We did it again. Appreciate you, bro.
Shout out, bro, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Right. What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.